Today I wanted to look at Schoolboy versus Leonidas ARKONA at East versus West 12. I think this match does a great job of showcasing the importance of elbow flexion in a match, potentially above all other pressures. So notice how in the very beginning of this match, we initially see Schoolboy attempting to fight for height. He does switch to a flop press after this, but we know that he's fighting for height initially, partly because of his setup, and partly because of the fact that his head height, his body height drops upon the go of the match. This indicates that he was trying to rise, he was trying to generate up pressure, go straight up and through the top of Leonidas' fingers, and take control of the high ground, forcing Leonidas to hold on to him. And this is where we're able to see how strong Leonidas' elbow flexor is. Notice how upon the go of the match, when Schoolboy tries to drive upward, his elbow flexor angle totally opens, so the distance between his hand and his right shoulder hugely increases. However, he doesn't really move anywhere. His hand height doesn't go up, so he's basically just ripping through his own arm because Leonidas is too strong. Now, if we look at the same thing with Leonidas, notice the distance between his shoulder and his hand, or his bicep angle, and upon the go of the match, for him, it doesn't really move hardly at all. It pretty much stays identical. This is because Leonidas' elbow flexor is really strong. It is significantly stronger than that of Schoolboy. So this leads to Leonidas getting that top position. Now Schoolboy is basically having to lat drag, and he's pulling underneath Leonidas' hands. From here, this is a terrible losing position, so of course he just decides to go ahead and switch to the flop press. And this is an okay move. This is pretty much all that he had access to at this point because he had totally lost high ground, and this is pretty much his only option now. And from here, the match actually does end up taking a little while to get finished, and this is because Leonidas was really setting up for taking hand control, but once he actually got that hand control, he didn't have a great position to try to drive sideways. He has pretty much no shoulder commitments. He is eventually able to do this even from this really awkward position, but I think this once again shows how strong Leonidas' elbow flexor is, even with Schoolboy in this position where he has some decent access to isolating Leonidas' elbow flexor through his flop press. Notice how his arm angle does not open at all, even when Schoolboy drives really hard. In this moment right here, it pretty much does nothing. He's applying down pressure into the elbow flexor of Leonidas, and it does not open whatsoever, so I don't think Leonidas was really in much danger of getting flop pressed here. So this probably wasn't the most efficient win in terms of actually getting the pin, but initially, Leonidas' ability to take height and to take hand control in a match is super solid, and I think when I very first watched this, I was a little bit disappointed with Schoolboy because I didn't realize how high of a level Leonidas was at, but after this match, Leonidas posted videos of him doing like 75 kilos or something ridiculous on the Devon Lair pronation lift, so I understood that his elbow flexor really is at the very pointy end of the elite level, so I don't blame Schoolboy at all for losing hand control in this match. And I'll be really excited going forward to see who Leonidas is going to go up against next, if he can beat some really elite level top rollers and hook pullers, because it's going to be extremely difficult to bend your wrist against Leonidas ARKONA right now.